After checking out the awesome Katoomba Falls view, we cruised over to Lura to explore and sort out our lunch. We heard about this cool spot, the Bakehouse on Wentworth, and everyone said we had to try their fancy pies and pastries. So we popped in, and let me tell you, those gourmet treats were totally worth the hype.
We're heading a little further west, heading to a little town called Blackheath. Then we're going to turn right and get out to see that other canyon I told you about.
Oh, nice.
I'm very excited to be taking you to this lookout that we're going to soon. I have to say this next lookout, it's got to be at least, in my opinion, at least as beautiful as where we had our morning tea. Yeah, so this is a different kind of tea tree. The third one. This is the one I call the day spa tea tree. Just when you smell it, it's just that typical sort of day spa tea tree smell. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every time you go into the spa, you can.
Yeah, it's all right. Now, this has an interesting way of protecting itself from fire. We call it, the common name is the paper bark tea tree, because it has this flaky paper-like bark. Now, air is a really good insulator. You've got to be able to trap it. So having lots of little layers of bark with little bits of air trapped in between, actually, even though you lose a little bit of the outside very quickly, it protects the inside of the tree. So these survive quite well.
Yeah.
This funny little one in here, that's a 2-year-old Banksia serrata. We'll see big ones that survive the fire. These funny things with these big fuzzy sort of flowers through them, that's the adult versions of them.
Oh.
Now these things need fire to germinate, as do a lot of other Australian trees. So that's the other thing which people didn't really get told, that yes, fire does damage, but also no fire in Australia does a lot of damage. Because trees don't reproduce, trees will go extinct without occasional fires. The vegetation has evolved to specialise in that environment, so you have a problem when you don't have fires, just as much as you have a problem when you have too many fires.
Too many fire.
So, anyway. Here in the sun, a little blue.
Wow.
Done. So, we drove along the flat part of Sydney, and we sort of gradually came up the slightly windy road, sort of get to the top of the plateau, and then we had morning tea. Drove off, okay, and there's a big, wide open canyon.
Yeah.
Somewhere out here is the Three Sisters. Right, get to before fractured plateau. So when it comes to naming this place, we got it about as wrong as possible. We called canyons valleys, we called mountains, and we called a plateau.
Anvil Rock Lookout is like a nature balcony with a super cool view. Standing there, you can see wide open spaces and the Blue Mountains stretching out like a giant painting. It's one of those places where you just stand and go, wow, nature is awesome. Filled us in on the places we'd visited earlier that day, talking about these cool canyons we explored. He made it sound like each canyon had its own story. It was interesting hearing about all the different spots we checked out.
Open seat out of a tree called the mountain devil. You see how they've opened up and the seed has come out? The reason we call them the mountain devil, that's a two-headed monster.
Yeah. You play. Yeah.
If I see a fresh one, I'll let you know. They're green before they open, and they look even more convincing. This one. Have our Acacia terminalis. We've seen these earlier in the day, even on our way to morning tea. But these have just opened up.
Yeah.
And when they first open up, they make these perfect little balls of fluff. Close to missing photos. To go on a boat and find dolphins. So you do dolphin cruises. There's a short walk down here to what's called Winter Road Cave. I think you'd enjoy that. Very short, and it's a beautiful view. So the dolphin watching is probably the #1 reason people do a day trip there.
Oh.
There are some sand dunes.
Yeah.
You, depending on who takes you there, they might take you to a place It does a bit of off-roading over the sand dunes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a bit of sandboarding.
Wind-eroded Cave Lookout is this cool spot with a big hole in the rock, shaped by the wind over time. It's like finding a secret hideout in the mountains where you get to spy on nature doing its thing. After our hike, Paul drove us to a place where we could spot kangaroos, and he even whipped up some snacks for us. The afternoon turned out to be awesome. Imagine kangaroos hopping around while we relaxed and enjoyed the tasty snacks that Paul prepared. It felt like a perfect Aussie adventure, and I couldn't help but think how lucky we were to have stumbled upon such a fantastic experience. Chilling out, munching on snacks, and watching kangaroos. That's how we're spending our time, and it's pretty awesome. The kangaroos are just doing their thing, and we're enjoying the moment. Snacks and kangaroos make for a perfect combo. Wrapping up our day, we headed back to Sydney with Blue Mountains Eco Tours by Paul and Jenny, and I can't stress enough how awesome it was. Highly recommend it! The tour was packed with jaw-dropping views, and Paul made the whole experience extra special. From the hidden gems to the delicious snacks, he nailed it. If you're up for an unforgettable experience, these tours are the way to go. You can find their contact details in the description below.